know what really frustrates me? Every time the housing market heats up, the RBA comes out and says, hey, it's not our fault. They say they're not responsible for housing. Their job is the economy, not property prices. But now RBA Governor Michelle Bullock has taken it one step further. She's found someone else to blame. And this time she's pointing the finger straight at the government. Now that's actually a really big deal. And every time she's asked about it, every time she's asked why the RBA keeps cutting rates when it's clearly fueling house prices, she gets really defensive. She says, hey, it's not my fault. Don't look at me. It's the government's fault. Now that's a big deal because when the head of the RBA starts shifting blame, it tells you one thing. No one wants to take responsibility for this housing crisis. So hang on, because I'm going to show you exactly what she said, what's really driving prices up, and why this blame game could actually make things worse for everyone. I mean, can you see that no one's really in control of this? Can you see that everyone that needs to get together to collaborate to fix this housing crisis are actually fighting each other? And that's one of the reasons why property prices will double in the next 10 years. So let's start with what actually happened. At the Sydney Opera House last week, the RBA Governor Michelle Bullock stood up and said that one of the biggest problems in Australia's housing market right now is stamp duty. She said, and I quote, it's not only stopping people from downsizing, it's also stopping people from moving for work. In her words, it's a tax on mobility. Now, on the surface, that sounds reasonable. Stamp duty is a killer. We all know that. And if you buy a 1.5 million home in New South Wales, you're handing the government around $65,000 in tax before you've even moved in. That's money that could have gone towards renovations, a deposit top-up, or just living. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't the first time the RBA has tried to deflect. Go back a few months, Bullock said it was suppliers' fault. Before that, it was council approvals. Now it's stamp duty. Every time the media and the public put pressure on Michelle Bullock and the RBA, she finds some problem with the government, some problem with their policy that she raises and throws back in their faces. Every time someone asks, hey, aren't your rate cuts making things worse? She's basically giving us the same answer, not our problem. She literally said housing isn't the RBA's responsibility. Their job is just to manage the economy. But think about that for a second. If the RBA admits their actions directly affect borrowing costs and borrowing costs drive housing demand, how can housing not be her problem and the RBA's problem? And that's where the frustration really kicks in, because every time the market heats up, instead of owning it, they blame someone else. Councils, developers. Now it's the government. It's like they're playing musical chairs with accountability. Every time the RBA cuts rates, money gets cheaper. Cheaper money means bigger loans mean higher bids, and that's just how the market works. When the RBA dropped rates earlier this year, prices didn't fall, they surged. Home values have jumped across every major city. In the past 3 months alone, national dwelling prices have risen at the fastest pace in 4 years. So while the RBA say supply is to blame, demand is actually going through the roof because people can suddenly borrow more. Investors are coming back, first-time buyers are rushing in, and the government's 5% deposit scheme has just poured more fuel on the fire. So while the RBA blames stamp duty, let's look at what actually is freezing the market. Yes, stamp duty is a real barrier. It stops retirees from selling. It traps people in homes that don't fit their life anymore, and it makes it harder to move for work. But the real issue isn't just tax. It's the total mess between state and federal governments. One side is trying to fix affordability by giving out more incentives. The other side is cutting rates and saying, not our fault. Meanwhile, approvals are down, construction is slow, and new supply just isn't hitting the pipeline. In Perth, in Adelaide, and Melbourne, builders are still struggling to get projects off the ground. So you've got less supply, more demand, cheaper finance, and more government stimulus. It's a perfect storm for house price growth. And what happens next? Prices keep rising, affordability keeps falling, both sides keep blaming each other. So who's actually fixing it? No one. So here's my question to you. Do you think the RBA is right? Is stamp duty really the main problem, or are they just passing the buck? Because from where I'm standing, rate cuts, bad policy, and constant political blame shifting are doing way more damage than one tax ever could. Drop your comments below. I generally want to know what you think. Do you agree with the RBA, or do you think they're dodging responsibility? And if you want daily updates like this, real data, real insights, hit that subscribe button and keep watching your daily property update. This is your 3 to 6 minute update every single day so that you can be a property insider. If you want to see my video on Michelle Bullock and Albo going at it and blaming each other, check out this video, guys. It's another great video about the role of the RBA in the house price mess that we're in right now.